I think your club chooses you. You don't choose your club. I come from Canning Town. West Ham's my club. That's it, walking distance. And other teams come to my town to try and nick points off my football club. And that doesn't matter whether you support West Ham, whether you support Rochdale, Crewe, whoever it may be, wherever you're from, not the most glamorous of places in the world, it's your club and you're proud of it. You know, or we might as well go and support Barcelona. We're not known for winning things, but what we are known for is having a good support and having that raw, that intense atmosphere. You feel like you've walked into a football ground. So I must have been about 9 or 10, went with the old man. Unfortunately, losing 1-0 to Coventry don't sound like the most exciting of games, does it? You know what I mean? As I got a little bit older and I was sort of allowed to go down there myself from sort of 13, 14 onwards, I'd wait outside the ground and it'd open the gates last 20 minutes and you could all pole down a little tunnel bit and watch it from almost on the sideline in a corner flag. It was always a ground, wherever you was, it was always a great atmosphere. There's a couple of moody places with the pillars, but you suffered it back in the day. I went to, obviously, the Millennium Stadium. We played there a few times. Liverpool, FA Cup final. Never forget that. That hurt me bad, that did. I'll never forget that moment. And when I felt like we'd actually won the FA Cup, and on the tannoy, the geezer says there will be 3 minutes stop. And as he said stoppage, Gerrard smashed that ball past Shaka Islop from about 90 yards or whatever it was. That hurt me that day. The player used to wind me up was Ian Dowie for some reason. He was a great player for us and a good servant for the club. I remember him scoring a few own goals. He should never have been back in the box. Marco Boogers, he was just terrible. Terrible player. I think he was a nutty one. Lived in a caravan or something. Bobby Moore, I mean, he was the ultimate, wasn't he? He was the ultimate player. And I think he's underestimated for how easy he made the game look. He had no pace about him. The way he could read the game, and he always looked like he had time on the ball. Just graceful, a beautiful player. I play FIFA sometimes. Well, I say sometimes. I'm obsessed with it. I do manager mode, and I try and buy all the players that we've had. You know, the Lampards and the Rio Ferdinands, and you know, your Joe Coles and your Defoes, and you sort of go through the list and go, wow, you know, what great players we've had over the years. Lampard, when he played for us, we couldn't wait to get rid of it. We thought 11 mil for Lampard, what result? You know, I remember him back in the day, and he used to just flick his hair about, and you know, he was a bit lumpy. Obviously had the potential, and of course he left us for Chelsea, and you know, and look at the player he's become, and what a servant for that club. Avram Grant, I don't know what we were thinking. Only job in the world where you can do the worst job possible and get a £2 million payoff, or whatever it was. You know, go, look, sorry, you was rubbish, here's 2 mil, see you later. What other job would you get that? John Lyle was a great manager, and I think he was one of our longest serving managers. But Harry Redknapp, we was a force. We was a force, you know, and he brought some great players through, Harry. And he had personality and charisma, and I was devastated when he went to Tottenham, and he did an interview and said he's finally, you know, happy to manage a big club, and I don't know how much of it's true because I didn't know them. I don't know the man. I've got a soft spot for Harry. Always have done. Always will do. At the moment, I'm sort of happy with Sam. I know there's a lot of people that are not happy with Sam. We have to accept the times we're going through, and at the moment, Big Sam, he can only do what he can do with the players that he's got, and I think we've got 2 great wingers in Downing and Jarvis, confident to run down a wing. They've got a great final ball. We've got a big nut, Carroll, who's a throwback. He scored a great goal the other night against Sunderland. You know, there's not many players like him. I mean, that ball came in, it was like slow motion, and there's got to be 15 players in that box, and there's no one going to beat him. And they're all watching him, they all know we're aiming for Andy Carroll's head, and yet he can still rise above everybody and nut that ball beautifully clean on his spam into the net, and they can't do anything about it. That is why it's another option, is he should be on the plane for Brazil. I did a thing for Sky called Premier League All-Stars, and it was 6 aside. It was 3 ex-pros from the club, 3 celebrities and 3 fans, and I got to play for West Ham with Frank McAvenny, Tony Cottee and Kevin Keane. But I just remember getting the ball and putting Cottee through, and it was, honestly, I just wanted to sob my heart out. I'm getting all emotional now thinking about it, watching your boyhood hero and then putting a kit on with him in the change room and going out there and representing West Ham. It don't get no better than that. We deserve to be in the Premier League. We're that type of club, you know. But I'm claret and blue through and through, always will be. So all you Cockney Reds have got to turn it in because you're an embarrassment.